guys, welcome into the cockpit now. We're talking about the run-up. Now, one thing I want you to remember is your aircraft run-up is going to be very specific to your airplane. I'm going to give you my run-up in a 1972 172 Lima model, but it's going to differ from a 1972 to a 1973 aircraft. It's going to change. So you need to consult your POH, your Pilot's Operating Handbook, to know what your proper run-up procedure is. But the reason we do a run-up is I want to troubleshoot. I want to make sure there's nothing wrong with this airplane before I take it up in the air. And we run that through our run-up checklist. First thing on there says brakes hold. I'm holding the brakes. If I had a student or a co-pilot, I would make sure they're holding the brakes as well. So we're both holding the brakes, and in some instances I'll also set the actual parking brake itself out and down. Parking brake is set. Next thing, flight controls free. Not only are my flight controls free, but are they correct? And I teach the box method. Here's what I do. I go full aileron to the left, and I should see left aileron up, right aileron down. Right aileron now, right aileron up, left aileron down. That starts my box. Then I go full back, elevator up, full down, elevator down, and then I wag my tail, I say, with my rudder out back, and I look, and if you have a rear window, you can look out and see that. If not, sometimes in a Piper aircraft, you can kind of peek out that door there and make sure everything. Flight control is not only free, sometimes you just like this, oh yeah, they're good. But are they free and are they correct? A story behind that, I had a good friend, just got his airplane painted, went to check flight controls free and correct, noticed they were opposite, and the paint shop had reinstalled the ailerons after painting them incorrectly, and they were going opposite of what they should have been, and he so thankfully caught that. Can you imagine taking off and having that be your issue? Flight controls free and correct. Next thing, instrument set. I like to read it like a book from left to right. Are my instruments set? Airspeed's at 0. I can't do a whole lot about that. Attitude indicator lined up and level for me. Altimeter, I already put the altimeter in there, but altimeter set. Double check it against field elevation. Turn coordinator level. Heading indicator matching up with my magnetic compass. And vertical speed indicator on 0 or noting where it's at. Left to right is how I read that when I'm checking my instruments. Step 4, fuel selector valve. Confirm it's on both. Yes, fuel selector valve is on both. Trim set to the takeoff setting. Trim set for takeoff. It is. Mixture rich. A lot of times we lean for taxi. Make sure that mixture is rich. Mixture is rich. Now we get to throttle 1700 RPMs as we begin to check our engine. So throttle coming up now to 1700. Right down over here. We're watching our RPMs. Up to 17. Now if you're flying a glass panel, you get real picky. You say, oh, it's at 1720. And then you want to get it just perfect, but just get it close. And remember where it's at, because the next thing you want to check is coming up are magnetos. I'm checking my left mag. Here on the key, one click over. Noting my drop. Back to both. I'm checking my right magneto. 1, 2. Noting the drop, about 50 each side. Back to both. Beautiful drops on magnetos, and I'm just running off one side of my engine effectively. Check that. If I got a real nasty drop, or if it's starting to vibrate real bad, I would probably have to burn that off and work on it that way. We can talk about that in a future lesson. Carburetor heat, I want to check. Note the drop. I mean, it heats the engine, right? So I should get a drop. Carb heat back in, I get a rise. Looks great. Suction. Check in between 5 and 6. That's what my POH says. It's great. Engine instruments. Fuel gauges look good. Oil pressure's green. Oil temperature's green and rising. Ammeter check. Positive side of 0. Some people like to add a load to it as well to watch it actually move, and you can see it twitch like that. You can do flaps, something like that, to make sure your ammeter is actually working. It is. Engine instruments are set. Now, idle the engine. Now, you always want to do this smooth. You never just want to rip it back. Idle the engine nice and smooth. So let's baby it on back to idle here. Nice and smooth. And is my engine still running? Some places will also use carb heat in there to really get that engine as low as possible and as close to that true idle as possible. That's all set. Great. Back up to 1,000. Then all I have here on my engine run-up is, are my radios correct? All right? And lights, camera, action. my lights are all on, my transponder stays on altitude at all times now anyways according to the FAA, and my mixture is rich. I'm ready to take off, and it's time to do that. Engine run-up is complete, guys. If you come across any of these and you have a discrepancy going, I don't know about that, ask your flight instructor. If you get a bad magneto, or maybe it's a bad spark plug, there'll be a lot of reasons. We don't need to get into that at the private pilot level, but talk with your instructor about that best procedure on what to do if you get a result from that mag check that you don't like. It's going to differ from airplane to airplane, but chances are you're going to run it up to a higher RPM, lean it out, get that engine nice and hot to burn off any crud that may be on that spark plug. So engine run-up is complete, guys. Great stuff. It's time to go flying. So listen, guys, I will see you in the next lesson there. See ya.